Hey everybody, this is Rory Francis, and you're watching another segment of Igniting American Manufacturing. I'm really excited to welcome back Harold Schoch with the Fives Group, and he's brought on another gentleman to talk to us, Alpen Patel with Caterpillar. And Alpen, you're with Caterpillar up in Indiana at the Large Engine Center, correct?
That's correct, Rory.
All right. Before we get started here, you got your master's in mechanical engineering from the University of Illinois in Chicago, and then you got your BA from Sardar Patel University. And
graduated with.
How many years have you been in the industry, Alpen?
I've been in the industry for a little over 30 years, 27 of them with Caterpillar.
Well, that speaks volumes about Caterpillar. Longevity of a company speaks a lot. Harold, you asked me to have a conversation with Alpen because you were, and share what you did before. Was you can do an intro to Alpen and his expertise, subject matter expertise in this industry much better than I did. You just enunciated. So go ahead. Tell me a little bit about Alpen and why you wanted me to speak with him today.
I'm delighted. Thank you, Roy. Appreciate the opportunity once again to speak to you and to the audience. Alpen and I have known each other for probably a couple decades now. My family business was a key strategic partner to Alpen and his CAT LEC team. In my 45 plus years in machine tool business, Alpen's one of the most innovative and visionary leaders I've had the good fortune to work with, and I count it a blessing to call him my friend. His passion for excellence in everything that he and his team do, and his desire for Caterpillar to be the best in class, as I shared with you earlier, Rory, is contagious and inspiring. The relationship and the trust that was built really nearly 3 decades with Caterpillar and the teams that I was blessed to lead has transferred over to Fives in 2018 after the acquisition, bringing all of our safe harboring my former employees over to the Fives organization. And over the last 2 years, we've partnered with Alpen and his team on numerous machine tool purchases and rebuilds. He was the first leader that I approached to present our One Fives, One United Team solutions to, and I'm grateful that he recognized the value and selected us as one of his strategic partners. And the diversity of our Fives businesses, we were the best kept secret in the industry until we launched that One Fives, One United Team mission, and I was able to share that with Alpen and his team. The facility is a world-class facility, manufacturing some of the most awesome engines that you can ever see. So if you get a chance, Rory, I'd really encourage you to go out and visit that facility. It's worth the trip.
That needs to get on the calendar. That's going to happen if they'll have me, for sure. Alpen, so in my 40 years of manufacturing, I've seen your equipment on my job sites many, many times. But to reiterate for our general public here, Caterpillar, what's a differentiator? Why do I want a Caterpillar piece of equipment in my job compared to somebody else? Tell me why you guys are the best out there.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to my good friend Harold for such a warm welcome and an introduction. I come to this with a lot of humility, but also a lot of passion for manufacturing. So thank you for having me. And I'll talk about Caterpillar. Why Caterpillar? Our brand promise to our customers for the last 100 years now has been that every customer that purchases our equipment will be more successful with our equipment than any other brand in the industry. Whether that's an engine, a genset, an excavator, a track-type tractor, or a large mining truck. That's our commitment, and we've been doing it for the last 100 years, and we plan to do it for 100 more.
Okay, so Large Engine Center in Lafayette, Indiana. What are your 3 main products? Tell me a little bit about those. What are you making up there?
Yeah, so we do manufacture large engines and power systems. The iconic 3500 that was launched in 1982, the 3600 that was launched in 1985, and the most recent launch of the C175 engine platform back in 2008. These engines go into a variety of operations. They service the electric power industry, marine, locomotive, industrial, and of course our large mining truck fleet as well. They burn both diesel and natural gas, so they are an option for customers around the globe in a variety of applications that I just mentioned.
Well, Harold kind of tooted your horn and said that you always worked on continuous improvement, which brings us to lean and digital transformation and smart factory. Tell me a little bit, and I know just a couple of years ago, one of your C-suite folks actually said he was going to make a commitment to step up your lean process. Tell me what lean means to you and to Caterpillar and what you guys are doing now along those lines.
Yeah, absolutely. And lean is a culture, right? It's not an initiative. It's not a flavor of the month, and it's been kind of embedded into everything that Caterpillar does, no matter whether you're in manufacturing or in a transactional area. And I'll go back to the fundamental definition of lean, the way it's described. It's eliminating waste. And the elimination of waste starts with the identification of waste. And so, our intent has always been, let's learn from the people that are the experts, the closest to the work being performed. Let's understand what impedes them in being successful from a daily basis. Let's get those ideas on the table, and then let's mission the right people who have the right technical aptitude to define, develop, and implement those solutions that resolve those waste-driving situations in the process. And we've been doing this for a good number of years. A lot of participation from the factory floor, which is what makes it also so successful. The ideas are theirs, and in many cases, the solutions are theirs. So it becomes a win-win for all of us. We improve the safety, the quality, the velocity, and of course, at the end of the day, the cost of the products that we serve our customers with.
Okay. Well, I was doing a little reading on you guys and researched, and your operations folks were saying that they see when you use robotics and automation and lean and these processes, you're looking at a 3 to 4, sometimes 5x productivity. What is it doing for your QA and your safety, your EHS program?
Yeah, so our first foray into automation was primarily to relieve our workforce of ergonomic issues and safety-related concerns. So that's where our automation journey started, I would say back in the early 90s. And it's been developing over the course of time as technology becomes a bit more commercially available. And it's solving a lot of the, I would say, quality and process validation type challenges for us today. I would say the mundane lift and carry type applications are no longer a part of the discussion. They're table stakes for us. But where we can eliminate the need for having human eyes detect the quality or inspect the quality of our parts, we're leveraging technology where it's practically possible. And it's shown a lot of improvement because it has the ability to continually be tweaked upon. Right? Newer sensors, newer technology, newer algorithms are being developed very rapidly, and we're taking advantage of those as they become applicable to our business needs.
Well, that's the digital transformation piece of it. You said something there, I really appreciate it when you said the lean wasn't an initiative, it was a cultural value. And as you know, there's some recent polls out with McKinsey and Deloitte and some of the likes that they're all coming up with the same thing. That most CEOs are saying their issue with digital transformation is still that cultural shift and paradigm. And I just recently listened to a bunch of folks talk about robotics and backlash about them taking jobs and things like that, which people in the industry know that's not the case. They're actually creating jobs. So I applaud you for that. Give me a second here. Again, can you expand a little bit on the robotics and the technology piece? Is it instrumentation? Where are you along that digital transformation and smart manufacturing, or is it just an iteration of lean?
Yeah, so it's built upon the foundation of lean, right, which is continuous improvement. And so as we think about where we are taking the business today, it almost starts with the fundamentals of connecting the assets electronically so that the assets can speak to us natively without having any kind of a human translator in between the machines and our digital team, if you may. And after we start connecting the assets, then we start collecting the data, understanding what exactly is going on, how are the machines behaving, how are they performing, and then taking that after the data has been collected, now we analyze it, right? Now it's really understanding what's really going on. Where are the waste streams? Where are the obstacles? Where are the opportunities for improvement? And then we go take the right action. So it's a continuation of the lean philosophy, in my humble opinion. We're just doing it with the power of technology, right? A lot more sensors, a lot more connected assets, a lot more cloud computing power that's available to us today that wasn't available to us 20 years ago. but it's a lot of it is the fundamentals of chasing waste out of our processes with the mindset of continuous improvement.
Okay. When we talk about digital transformation and your maturity level, and it sounds like you guys have made inroads, and a lot of companies reported they made inroads. As far as that data analytics, when we talk about obese data, sometimes we get too much data and we have to sort. Are you employing AI or using predictive maintenance? Tell me a little bit about that. Are you using AI? Is that helping, or is that something in the future that you're looking at?
No, it is happening today, and where we have mature historic data sets, we are leveraging the power of AI. But we are still growing and building our base of connected assets to have the ability to analyze more and more relevant data, to your point, right? We can have data overload and still have not learned a lesson or improved a bit. So we're being very, very strategic and tactical in terms of what data we collect, and then what do we put through the right analysis filters to extract news that you can use to make it better.
Where are you at with predictive maintenance? Is that something down the road, or is that you're starting to implement that, or?
We are in the spaces of data collection and start building out those analytical models. Okay. So it might be, sometimes in the future, maybe 2025, late 25, early 26, when we start getting into predictive maintenance.
Okay. Yeah, BCG Group, Boston Consulting Group, and some of the other bigger consultant firms all have an index or a test where folks are with their digital transformation maturity level. And I'll be honest with you, if you're looking at it, it has to be very objective when you do it. Most folks are somewhere at 2 or 3. Some folks are getting at a 4, and I haven't met a 5 yet. It sounds like you're somewhere between 3 and 4, and it's a process. And I think and Harold, here's I'm going to kind of come back to you. Caterpillar, wonderful product. And like I said, I use it all the time. But for an American manufacturer to compete globally, we're going to have to. And I just spent several weeks in China last summer looking at their factories. They're employing robotics. They're employing digital transformation. The EU is probably a little farther behind, but they're starting that. Just to be competitive, we're going to have to employ this. We're going to have to optimize, and probably more important for us, when we want to take some of the wage differentiators between us and Asia out of the equation. Harold, thoughts about competitiveness for American manufacturing and application? Just digital transformation is just one of the tools that help us be competitive. But if you have any thoughts about competing in a global market?
I concur with you 100%, Rory, and what Alpen is saying there. I've watched Alpen begin this journey from the infancy stages to where he has it today. And really at the forefront of all disruptive technologies is artificial intelligence and its subset, which is machine learning. Robotics, I think, is going to play, automation in general, but specifically robotics is going to play a major role. And particularly, Rory, as you look at what you and I know because of our friend Harry Moser and what he's sharing with us on the reshoring initiative, I mean, we've reshored between 2010 and 2024 just under 2 million manufacturing jobs. That's 40% of what we lost to offshoring. But that's a major, major dent into where we need to be from a capacity standpoint. The demand is there. Where we're lacking is capacity. And of course, one of my favorite subjects is one of your favorite subjects is workforce development. But if you just look at the statistics of robotics alone, let's see, I've got some notes here that I pulled up. So we're looking at 14.1% increase in units ordered in the last year between, I think it was, the month of September. And they're really projecting in a tremendous increase. And if you look at Automate 24 and Automate 25, which is going to happen in Detroit this year, they're looking at record numbers. So the companies that embrace the Industry 4.0, sustainability, AI, workforce and development, they are going to be the leaders in this renaissance that we're seeing in the U.S. today.
Mm-hmm. Alpen, I'm going to bring it back to you, and thanks, Harold. You always have something sage to say along those lines. And Harry Motors, is a very respected voice in our industry, and he provides us with some great data. And 3.8 million deficiency in workforce, particularly in manufacturing by 2030. Some people think we're upwards of 4 million, and we have some issues. One of the things, and Alpen, here's a question for you, as we embrace lean culture and we continuously improve and we embrace digital transformation and we embrace the use of robotics, at some point when you start talking about retention and upskilling or in-house training, tell me a little bit about what Caterpillar and you folks are doing up there along those lines.
Yeah, so critical to the long-term success of any industry. And we've been around here in Lafayette for 42 plus years. And I would say one of the key ingredients of that has been our workforce. There's no other way to say it. We've been blessed with really talented, convicted people that are so passionate for manufacturing, and our products kind of show the ingenuity that our folks bring to their workplace every single day. But as we think about the future, right, building that base from within is kind of our core takeaway. And so, we restarted apprenticeship programs here at the facility, because we believe that that's the only way to skill up the people that we have who are loyal to the brand and have a commitment to the products and the services that we offer to our customers. And so we're investing heavily, partnering up with local community colleges and vocational schools, also with industry partners, to make sure that we are providing the right skill sets in the right manner to our existing team members for them to be successful in the years to come.
Yeah. Alpen, you're talking my language, and I've said it, and people who watch this are probably going to, oh, here he goes again. I always talk about this renaissance in our workforce development issues, that there's three cogs or three pieces of this equation that have to have a tight collaboration, and that's academia, that's government, and finally industry like Caterpillar. And I always say that industry is going to have to do the heavy lifting right now till we can get some of our programs up and running, and that's the upskilling portion. But you mentioned working with, mentioned apprenticeships, mentioned vocational training and working with community colleges. And I think the biggest part, and last week I actually had the pleasure, I was in Texas, and I was at a dinner with the governor, and the Texas Speaker of the House gave up, and the governor gave a great speech, and I really enjoyed it. He talked about manufacturing in Texas, and they're doing some wonderful things down there. They're getting they're a bigger piece of the pie than a lot of the states. But the Speaker of the House got up, and he was talking my language, Harold, the language we talk. He started right in about workforce development, the stigma around vocational training and changing that, and apprenticeships. And he actually talked about that collaboration, that we can make degree programs all day long and apprenticeships all day long. If we're not talking to industry and asking them what skills do you particularly need, and get granular with them and take those and build them into the curriculum, we're getting degrees that are or certifications really don't have a lot of value. It's getting that information from Caterpillar and say, we need someone who knows PLC ladder logic like this. We need someone who knows this kind of milling, and get those skill sets built into the curriculum. And I think the pendulum has finally turned. And I think we're headed in the right direction. Alpen, we're going to have you back. I could talk to you all day long, and Harold and I say that all the time, and Harold and I will have a follow-up call after this. I'm going to have to wrap up. Alpen, thank you for being here. Harold, thanks for being back again, and love to see Caterpillar continue as an American-made product and be successful out there. You guys are doing a great job, and thanks again for being here. This is Rory Francis, and you watched another segment of Igniting American Manufacturing. Thank you, gentlemen.